All right, guys. So today is 14th of April 2025, as you can see. So and it's currently 7:18 a.m. my time. So as usual, I'm watching the market closely to see if I'll get any opportunity for today. So if I see anyone, I will notify you guys. But before we go, the trade I took on Friday just smashed TP at the moment. So let's check the trade and see what we made and all of that. So yeah, here is the setup as you can see. So if you followed last week video, so you remember this trade. So I entered this trade very late on Friday evening. So and as you can see, the trade have smashed TP at the moment. So yeah, here is the history of the trade on the 10K account as you can see. So I made about a $61.98 on the 10K account as you can see, and we are left with this balance at the moment. So we are still on drawdown on the 10K account. So I'm still watching the market closely to see if I'll get any opportunity for today. So if I see anyone, I will notify you guys as usual. Cheers. All right, guys. So there's before we continue with this documentary, to go on and on to check on how Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays looks like, and what we made and how the trades we took. Before we continue with that documentary, there's something I want to chip in here, guys. There's something I want to chip in here. The truth is that there are some certain things in this market that all these our gurus tend not to talk about. There are so many things that they tend not to talk about. They tend not to give like they don't talk about it at all. And one of it is the fact that when it comes to risk management, they will only tell you about how it is that you need to be risking 1% of your account so that you'll be able to preserve your capital and all of that. They will always teach you that one. But I think there are bigger side of risk management that need to be put out there, and this bigger side of it is the fact that your strategy, there are some points that your strategy as a whole will not work. Now they will only let us understand that there are some times that you'll be in a losing streak per trade, that there are some times you'll be in a losing streak for months, weeks, per trade. Like you don't know the next trade that will be a winner, you don't know the next trade that will be a loser. But one thing they tend not to talk about is the fact that there are some times that your strategy as a whole will be in a losing streak for years. If I put years now, you guys will be shaking, but truly it's true. I know what I'm saying. I have watched some podcasts and I have spoken with some traders who has been in the industry for a while. And both years, there are sometimes both years, both weeks, both months that your strategy as a whole will stop working. Now, it doesn't mean that the whole of the year that you'll be going through back-to-back losses each month. No. It means that maybe you made profit this month, you made profit next month, next upper month you lost. Then when you combine everything together at the end of the year, you find out that maybe you are closing the year for a break-even or for a loss. I have seen that, and personally, I'm talking this now because I have experienced that, and I have also spoken to some traders. I have also watched some podcasts, and they also talked about the same thing. So actually, when it comes to risk management, they will always preach to us how we need to manage our trade by trade because we don't know the one that will be a winner or a loser. But where I have issue is they tend not to talk about the fact that there are some times that your strategy will stop working and how to manage this particular period of time. Because personally, in my opinion, I think this is one of the biggest issues that makes this game a 95.5% wins. This is one of the reasons why majority of people who comes into this game end up as a loser. This is one of the reasons why majority, because now all these things I'm talking from experience, right? Because at the end of the day, now come to think of it, when they talk about that 95% of traders lose their money, they are not successful. Now, one of the underlying threats of this particular claim is the fact that they are changing from one strategy to another.
And what I'm saying now happened to me. I changed from one strategy to another. I switch strategy. When you say switch strategy, I switch strategy. And why do I switch strategy? Later on, I discovered that I switched strategy because at some certain point in time, this strategy stopped working. I bought some courses. I did not buy course from one person. In fact, I bought some. I trade them for 6 months, 1 year, and they stopped working. And I will jump into the next person, and I will bought another course. And this thing happened over and over again, and the same thing keep on repeating itself. And the issue is that one of the issues I had on my journey is that the people that I bought the course from, they will only make videos, but you won't have access to them direct to talk about. I don't want to call names. You won't have access to them to talk about it, to talk about what happened in their strategy or when it stopped working and all of that. They will always push this narrative that they are making money online steady. So at the end of the day, if you come to think of it, you see that the reason why they jump from one strategy to another is because the strategy stopped working. Now, before they, in fact, the reason why they started using that strategy is because the strategy was working. That's why you start using a strategy at first, because you see that it's working, because you have back tested it and see that it's working. Now, if the strategy later stop working, what should you do? This is where nobody talks about. What should I do if this strategy stop working? And at what point will I know that this strategy have stopped working? Because at the end of the day, losses will not announce to you that it's coming. Losses, you will just see the losses, and you will be hoping, as you are hoping before that, these losses, you will recover it in the next trade, and you will enter another trade. That one will be a loss, you will recover it in the next trade. And the same thing happens when it comes to losing streak of your whole strategy, of your strategy as a whole. You may end up this month in a loss, and the next month you are hoping that, okay, maybe next month you may end up winning next month and then recovering the money you lost this month. And at the end of the day, you find out that as the next month ending is approaching, that you are still in this loss, and you still end the next month in loss. So at the end of the day, the whole thing boils down to, how do you know that this strategy have stopped working, and how do you compensate for that? At least maybe stepping aside and stop trading for a while. And how do you know when to come back to the system? How do you know, okay, that at this point this strategy has stopped working? And how do you manage it during this period? Maybe you can at least you can reduce your trades by trading only a pro setup, so that you don't lose much. Because at the end of the day, how you treat your trade by trade basis, that should still be the same way you should treat your strategy as a whole. Your strategy as a whole should be, how much did you make? Now, this disclaimer, this is my personal observation and what I learned by myself. I believe that this whole thing is just how much you make when your strategy is working perfectly, and how much you lose when it stops working for a while, and knowing when to come back to the system. Knowing what to tweak and when to tweak it. Now, this particular 4 tips now I mentioned, I think this is the game changer in this game. This is the game changer in this game. And this is one of the things that are causing this game to be a 1955 team. Because at the end of the day, you end up, you just realize that your strategy have stopped working maybe for 1 month, 2 months. And at the end of the day, sorry, excuse me, guys. At the end of the day, they will always preach to us to trust our strategy enough to execute flawlessly. Now, that's not a bad idea, though. But as a human being, how do you want me to trust something that have not been proven trustworthy? Something that you are not sure that it will repeat itself. Now, I'm not talking about being sure. This is because when it happens, is now out of imagination, right? when this thing now you trust it, and at the end of the day it stop working, it will be as if this thing betrays you. And you know, human beings, at the end of the day, our natural instincts will kick in, try to help us to play a defense mechanism. And one of the quickest suggestion that your system, your natural instincts will give you is to stop trusting that particular thing and to move to something else. Now, at the end of the day, the whole thing boils down to, how do you now trust something that has not been proven trustworthy? And even in terms of you tweaking, how do you know when best to tweak it? How do you know what to tweak first to begin with? How do you know that this strategy for now have stopped working, that you need to compensate it by either not trading or reducing the amount of trades you are taking? So these the kind of questions that is boiling down my mind now. Because at the end of the day, you guys know, last time I lost my second 5K account. I lost the first one after I passed phase 1. On the phase 2, I lost it. So, and this one, I also lost it. And this is not all about I did not manage risk. I was risking about, that was around 0.5%. And I have about 8% drawdown. So I have more than 15-hour risk to take before I blow the account. So, which is a good risk, if you ask me, in my opinion. At least that 15-hour is an average, right? So, at the end of the day, the whole thing boils down to, how do you know that this thing now, the way this thing is going, at this point you need to restrain? Because at the end of the day, if you watch it closely, there is a thin line between you restraining yourself or stopping trading to be profitable, and you stopping trading to be a loser. Because at the end of the day, if you stop trading, if you make losses and you stop trading along the way when you are not supposed to stop trading, you end up that you miss the trades that you are supposed to use to recover your losses. And whereby when next you are jumping in, because you have already missed those wins, when next you are jumping in, you may jump in as well and still meet another losing streak. Because the winners that you are supposed to use to recover your wins, you have already missed them. And in that winner is also some profit that could have covered the present losses that you are supposed to have, and all of that. I don't know if I'm the only one feeling all of this. And at the end of the day, this is just one thing that because personally, I'll be getting another 5K account, because this particular 10K account, I don't want to take some certain risk on it. And then I'm putting another plan in place on how to get this challenge done quick. And that plan is to stake out money for propfirm. Maybe stake out money for like 4, 3, or 5 propfirms. Like you can buy 5 accounts, money that can afford 5 to 3 accounts. So that I can risk like 1% per trade. Once I blow each one, I go to the next one, and then anyone I was able to pass, then I can reduce the risk once I get to the live trade. So this is the next plan I'm having, and then I want to use the 5K account for that. So I'm still planning on that. Maybe by next month I will come in. But this particular question is just ticking in my head now. How do I know when this strategy have stopped working for a while? You guys, if you have been following this challenge, you will see when this strategy was working, how quick I was able to pass that first 5K account and all of that, and how the whole thing was working. Then you can see what happened recently during this Christmas, November, December, January till March. And this particular April now, I'm not taking all of my setups. I missed 2 wins setup, and this win now is back to back this week and last week. So I only took 2 wins. I'm supposed to take 4 wins, 4 loss, and those losses were not lost. It's only one that was lost actually. Those losses was 1:1 close and all of that. You understand? And one is break even. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's supposed to be that I'm supposed to close like 4 wins that hit my TP 1:3. But I miss them because I'm still afraid of taking my entry as a whole. I'm still afraid of taking all my setups at the moment. So, and then also I have tweaked the strategy. If you guys remember, since January, I've been telling you guys that there's something my journal have been telling me about to tweak. I also tweak that stuff at the moment. So, and this stuff is not something that I will tweak and then it will change my. It's just like to increase the win rate and all of that. And I have done that because I have watched it for a while. I think this is the best time to tweak it, right? So at the end of the day, this whole question is just boiling in my mind. I don't know if I'm the only one who has observed this, or like I don't know if you guys are, if this sound relatable to you guys. I don't just know, but this is just one thing that is clicking in my mind now. How do you know when to compensate your strategy by stop trading or by taking few trades, because you know that at this point this strategy will stop working and all of that kind of a thing? Is there a way to even know? And even if you jump into that losing streak, how do you know? At what point will you realize, will you be able to say, okay, now I think this losing streak, this my strategy have stopped working for now, that I should compensate it and wait for it to start working? And then at what point should you come back? I think this is just one of the things that is burning in my heart. So I think guys, I have spent a lot of time on this talk, more than I plan to. But let's go straight to the documentation. Actually, let's continue with the documentation. Cheers, thanks a lot for watching. For my OGs, maximum response, guys. Let's get on with the video.
All right, guys. So today is Thursday, 17th of April 2025. So currently I'm in on this GU buy at the moment. So price just gave me an opportunity to join the trend at the moment. Yeah, so I'm in, as you can see. So price just tagged me in a few minutes ago. So let's go straight to the account and see how much we are making and how the trade looks like at the moment. Yeah. All right, guys. So here is the trade running on the 10K account, as you can see. So we are running for approximately minus $3.7 at the moment, as you can see. So we are running in loss at the moment. So and we are left with this balance on the 10K account. So I will notify you guys on the outcome of. I will notify you guys on the outcome of the trade and how today goes as well. So and currently we are left with this balance on the 10K account, as you can see. So I will notify you guys as usual. Cheers. All right, guys. So quick one. The trade just hit 2 hour at the moment, and if you know by now that I normally break even at 2 hour, and I close my trade from 3 hour above. So let's go to the account and break even at together at the moment, and also to set my TP at the moment. So yeah. All right, guys. So I just break even right now, and I've set my TP as well. So I'll notify you guys on how on how this trade ends. So I'll notify you guys on the outcome. So yeah, cheers. All right, guys. So as you can see, the trade just hit TP at the moment. As you can see, so the trade just smashed TP at the moment. So let's go to straight to the account and see how much I made and how the trade looks like on the account. Yeah. All right, guys. So here is the result on the 10K account, as you can see. So we made about $65.43 on the 10K account, as you can see, and we are left with this balance on the 10K account. So this will be the last trade for today. So by tomorrow we'll come again and do our thing. So if I see any other opportunity by tomorrow, I will notify you guys as usual. Cheers. All right, guys. So that will be all for the week. That will be all for the week, as today is Saturday, right? So and the market is closed for the week, so I could not get any opportunity for yesterday. So and we'll call it a successful trading week at that. So actually, I'll be taking you guys straight to the account so that we'll see how much we made and how much we lost for the week, and how this week ended. So without any further ado, guys, let's go straight to the account. Yeah. So yeah, here is the history of the account for the week. As you can see, so this is what we made for the week. We took about 2 trades for this week, and we took one trade. So but last week Friday trade, we closed it Monday this week. So and everything, that means both trade were wins, and we ended the week with $127.41 on the 10K account, and we are left with this balance at the moment.
So this is for the week. So we'll come again by next week and do our things. We will know how we do it. So this week was profitable actually. So that will be all, guys. Thanks a lot for sticking by and watching to this very moment. I really appreciate you guys. So by next week I will update you guys on how the week goes. Cheers.